Today's conversation, I sit down with Mr. Maiseri. We talk about estate planning, not as a legal technicality, but as a human responsibility. Just to ground today's discussion, Genius Kadungure was a Zimbabwean businessman whose death attracted significant public attention. What followed were reports of disputes around estate administration. With him on the day of death was Michelle Amuli. Michelle Amuli was a fitness trainer and influencer. After her death, disagreements arose within a family over burial arrangements, eventually ending up in court. In both cases, the tragedy wasn't only the loss of life, but the uncertainty that followed. Mr. Maisiri, welcome.
Thank you.
This is the first episode of Unsettled. And Unsettled is a podcast where we'll be discussing more serious issues, like I say estate planning. From your understanding, what do you think people misinterpret when they hear the phrase estate planning?
Out of my own experience, I'm very happy to share that with you.
Yes.
In that a lot of people think when they hear the word estate planning, they think it is about finances. It is about a lot of money. It is about property. It is about, material things. And I summarized it thus.
Yeah.
Now, what they do not realize is that estate planning is more than that. Estate planning is more about dignity, clarity, and respect of your own wishes when you cannot talk yourself.
Yeah.
That is estate planning, remaining in control of your own affairs, even if you are bedridden, even if you are buried 6 feet down. That is estate planning. And people have no time at all to set aside 20 minutes to plan about what they are toiling all their days, years, and you can't just sit down and say, what if I fail to make decisions on my own? What if I die?
So, what do families usually underestimate when they avoid such discussions?
They underestimate the importance of belonging. There are things in life that we say are needs, not wants. The need to belong. Everybody needs to belong somewhere. Now, when we talk about estate planning and what families miss, is that it is not about what you own, but it is about you, your beliefs, your choices. How do you want to be treated? Who do you want to be next to you? Who do you want to make decisions on your behalf if anything were to happen to you? Absence of these clearly defined statements by yourself brings confusion among your loved ones. Hatred. We have seen families, siblings failing to see eye to eye because of, crises like, incapacity or death.
Yeah.
And this is happening every day in each and every family, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like you're talking the issue of belonging. There really is an issue when wishes are not written down. Like in Moana's case, the dispute around her death centered around a burial. Why do funeral decisions carry so much emotional and cultural weight?
Funeral decisions are not about you have dropped dead, your body is taken to a funeral parlor, and you are buried. Funeral decisions are about your own beliefs, your own traditions, your own custom. If those are not taken into consideration, we end up with an issue like Moana's, because there is no clarity as to who will make decisions about where I shall be buried. Everybody, an adult, has the right and opportunity now to decide where you want to be buried. We have seen so many cases of even others now going to cemeteries. Their parents died when they were still young. They don't know where the burial is. Relatives, they don't know, or they are not reluctant to share the information with the children of the departed. Very unfortunate. Yet if one were to document, if I die, I want to be buried in the United Kingdom, in this city. I want to be buried in my rural home, or it's a cemetery in this city. That way, it is easier for your loved ones to follow. The ones you look at today may not even care about you, but some who are not even born would want to know about you. Where did they get the information from? If you do not write it yourself.
So there's really need ukuthi uri fit wakasimba kudai have your things written down.
Everybody. You cannot underline that my own funeral won't attract, the media that Moana's did. You cannot underline that. Why? Because there can be arguments within family members, and we have seen this repeatedly. Should he be buried in town? Should we take him back to the rural home? And already there are disputes. Some that last a lifetime in most cases. So we do not have happy households because somebody did not plan.
Yeah, serious. Moving forward, I want us to discuss.
Planning is about responsibility.
Yes. Now that one thing that you really emphasize that estate planning is about responsibility, it's about authority. It's not just assets. Can you unpack that for someone listening at home? Because that's actually a question I received earlier in the morning when I was discussing with someone that will be having this podcast today. And their first question also was like, "What do you mean?" And this is the question I'm now giving to you.
I will, I always try and put myself in a manner that a layman can understand. And I will try to do that now.
Because in Dopa Notivara, usually when we discuss issues like this, there's a lot of jargon, very serious, very deep, which I want to say.
Let me help you. Traditionally, estate planning was for the elderly. Those who want to decide how their assets will be distributed, and even before death, those who want to remain in control of their own affairs when they cannot make decisions themselves. They resorted to estate plan. And within our communities, this is a new phenomenon. When I say our communities, I mean the black race in particular. And the issues of estate planning indeed does touch on the inequality that scholars and others today are undertaking in terms of wealth gaps among races. Estate planning is the reason why we have failed to build generational wealth. So, to those who are listening, and you are thinking of leaving a legacy, leaving a name, you have got no name if you leave your decisions to be made by the courts. Like what happens if you do not have an estate plan?
I hear
If you
about.
fail to make decisions on your own, very few people are alert to the fact that your family, your loved ones, are supposed to approach the Court of Public Protection for the appointment of a proxy, somebody who then will make your decisions. And that process is expensive. I'm talking of 10 times more expensive than you registering a power of attorney today, whilst you can choosing somebody whom you want, than letting a judge appoint somebody to make your decisions. He doesn't know who among your loved ones, yes, what your values to pass on to your children for a start.
Yeah.
You know your loved ones. Make that choice.
To know us, those are the people that we wake up every morning for, to make sure they. True. So you mentioned courts, and you mentioned something about the court having to assign someone for that. So in a situation in which no one is clearly appointed to act on your behalf, what is the process which goes through?
Thank you very much. That's a clever question. Thank you. There are two things here. No one is appointed by you. You didn't appoint anyone to make your decisions if you fail to make them yourself, if you lose capacity. That's a different, that's a different issue. And to this one, that you did not appoint anyone to act on your behalf upon death. These are two separate documents that you need.
Oh.
Okay? You need a document that appoints somebody to make your decisions if you lose capacity. That document is not a will, because don't forget, a will takes effect upon death.
Yes.
Now we have lost capacity, and you are still alive, and you are very, you are a person of means. You have your things that can take care of you.
Yes. Yeah.
Like many people do. But you have not appointed anyone to make your decisions. You are leaving that decision to, a nanny relative of yours, a judge, to decide who is going to make your decision. Who is more talkative among your family members is the one who is going to be appointed, apparently. But this person may not have your interest at heart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of abuse that goes on when one loses capacity. We have numerous examples of such. Let me give you one.
Yes, please.
Britney Spears,
Oh, yeah.
the musician.
Yeah, the American musician.
She lost the capacity around 2013
Yeah, there were
or
reports that she
earlier.
was mentally unstable
Between
to run a stage.
2008 and 2013, somewhere there, she
Yeah.
lost the capacity. And her father was appointed the, the decision
The
maker.
overseer. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was her father and a lawyer. Now, Britney Spears got to a stage where she had then to go back to court. Now applying for the removal of her father and that lawyer in that office of acting on her behalf. Why?
For reasons that they were not acting on her behalf, on her best
She's
interest.
now alleging that these people are, abusing my estate. They're looting my estate. They are not allowing me to do what I want to do. For instance, she wanted to get married. And so the
Mm,
father and the lawyer were saying, but you see, you are not in a
be
position
unstable.
to make such decisions, lifelong decisions.
Mm.
She felt otherwise.
Oh, I think when it comes to this topic, I will really need it every episode because there's a lot to talk about in that regards.
Indeed.
Um, yeah. On the next issue, I would like to discuss about talking of Ginimbi. Reportedly, he had business interests across the borders. And from your experience, what are the risks which appear when continuity planning is missing?
Thank you very much. I will try to respond to this question in a very simple way.
Mm.
In our own parlance, in our own language, in our own society, in Zimbabwe in particular, and that is also across the African race, sadly. We have the saying that the deceased has gone with his things,
And
with
aenda
his
nezvinhu
assets.
zvake. Mm. Aenda nezvinhu zvake. And
Where
at most times we have some superstitious ideas on how they acquired their wealth. And that's why it all just went down the drain with their death. Please go on and tell us, Kuti Pane say, yeah.
you are not a successful man if you don't breed a successor to what you are doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll sum it that way.
Uh,
All right. We had very successful business people within our communities. And upon their death, their businesses died with them. And that includes Robert Mugabe with his daily company in Zimbabwe there. Where is it today? And if you look at it, he himself didn't even have an estate plan in place. With such massive, organizations that are, very strong and supportive of the economy. Those were his daily company was huge.
yes. Yes.
But it did not last a year after his death. Look
Yeah.
at Morocco.
Yes.
They are not the only ones. Look, we had traditional business people, in the Rhodesia time. Very, very, very astute businessmen
Yes.
and women.
Yes.
Where are their businesses? What we fail to understand as a race is that family businesses are the largest businesses in the world.
Yeah.
Let's sustain them. Ford is a family business.
Yes. We
Apple
need to
is a family
document.
business.
Mhm.
Microsoft is a family business.
So many of them.
So businesses, small businesses are the backbone of any economy in the world.
Yeah.
And if our business people are not planning about business succession, then we are not building generational wealth. The absence of a decision maker within a business is catastrophic.
Yeah.
Ginimbi died. When he died, we read that he had written a will, but that will had not yet been signed.
Mm-hmm.
The provisions of the will are unknown, but if you want to find out, you can still get them because it's in a public record, right?
So you mean every will that has ever been written, it's legal for it to be shown to the public?
Whether you have got a will or not, your affairs are gonna be public. Anybody can go and read, but you can plan in such a way that your affairs won't be public at all, especially if
Mm.
you plan via a trust.
Oh
People
yes.
just they hear about trust, but very few knows what a trust is and how it is how it operates, how it is taxed. Very
Briefly,
few people have that
briefly,
knowledge.
can you shed light on that?
I've spoken of a lot of things. On what?
On the trust. Yeah, trust. What is the trust and how does it function?
I mean, you mean what it is?
Yeah. Briefly, in a few sentences, then we'll
I
go
mean,
back to the issue.
let me explain this so that people will understand where we are coming from, right? If you do not have an estate plan,
Mm.
right, you die without one. Somebody dies with a will. That's an estate plan.
Mm.
Those two people, their cases, it is only through the master of the high court in a country like Zimbabwe or South Africa. They have got the master. Within the high court is a department that deals with deceased estates, and this work is being decentralized even to magistrates court now because of the volumes, right?
Yeah.
Now, all those who do not have plans and who do not have wills, it is only through the master's office or the probate court in the UK that your assets will be transferred to your loved ones, whether you have got a will or not. And that process is called the probate process. In other countries, it is called the administration of estate process. And people need to
Okay.
know that process. We're going to be talking about that as well.
Yes, please.
Because a lot of people are losing money paying other people to have that process done. And yet it's a process that you can do yourself. You only need knowledge.
Mm. Mm. Knowledge is
The law
key.
allows you to do it yourself. But
All
because
right.
of lack of knowledge, you are having to go and pay somebody on an hourly rate. Something you can do only because you do not have knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. Over our discussions, we've used several examples. Robert Mugabe included, Ginimbi, Moana. So my next question is really on privacy, dignity, and public scrutiny. And uh, how does estate planning protect families from public exposure if they have most vulnerable moments?
Thank you very much. There are different estate planning vehicles to use.
Mm.
There are different, when I say vehicles, I mean documents.
Yeah.
Like a will. Yeah?
Yeah.
When you say trust, there are different types of trust. Different, a lot disabled. For disabled children or loved ones, it's a different trust. The family trust is a different to it. You know, there are different trusts that are trusted differently. So people need this information. Now, to say, how do you keep your matters private? That was your question, am I right?
Yes.
By creating a trust. It doesn't matter the type of trust you create. Now it brings me to explain what a trust is. When we say create a trust, you are creating a legal persona. In layman's language, we are saying you are creating a human, not a human being, a human in law. Yeah, to hold
It's
your
a
assets.
personality. Yeah.
You are creating
Yeah.
to hold your assets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then what you need to do yourself is, it can be the Roland your surname trust. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
What you then need to do is to appoint successor trustees.
Okay.
People who will then step into your shoes in the event that you fail to make decisions or you die. You appoint successor trustees. And then you then need to appoint beneficiaries. Successor trustees can also be the beneficiaries. You are allowed. Right?
Yeah.
And then you then need to transfer all your assets into the name of that trust. At the moment, your house is under Roland name.
Trust. Yeah.
Not trust, in your name.
Yeah, well, it's still in my name, yeah?
It's in your name. That's right. But when you create a trust, the Roland trust, you now need to transfer your house from your name, Roland, to the Roland trust. Which means when you die yourself, you do not have anything
to your name.
to your name.
It's in the trust.
It's
yeah.
Which means the master's court there, the master's office there, or the probate court here, there is nothing to administer because in your name is nothing. These trustees are just taking over from where you have left and manage the assets on your behalf. In the trust document, the trust deed, you give your trustees instructions as to how you want your assets to be managed. And they have to follow that.
Interesting.
They will be giving reports of how they are doing this on your behalf.
Yeah, very eye-opening.
And it can last for 99 years. So with a trust. You rule from the grave. That is why you see we have businesses like Miko's. That business was started by John Miko and is still running today.
Now generations later still running.
Yes.
And
We
expanding too.
still have businesses like Proton. The young boys who are running Proton today are the third generation.
Mm-hmm.
It was their grandfather who started that business. And their father ran it, left it for the boys, and they shall leave it to their sons. And it is what their old man, the grandfather, did in creating a trust.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes. I'm Philippines and church. Okay, someone is watching this and you have triggered something in them which they might need the help on or just to understand more. Now, Mr. Maisiri, please tell us who are you, who do you represent, and how can people be in touch with you?
Whom am I? I'm Collins Maisiri.
Hey, welcome, Collins Maisiri.
I am an estate planning consultant. Of course, based here in the UK. And my background in this work spans decades. Quite a lot of time. I started my own firm in Zimbabwe. I think I was aged 23.
Oh.
Specifically dealing with the administration of deceased estates.
Yeah.
But since then, I talk about this. And in the UK, we have, of course, I co-founded an organization called Angels Outreach Community Interest Company. And this was born out of the realization over the years that there are sections of the population that are not served in this area of law. And yet it is law, but it is also touches quite a lot of other issues, like, of course, health and well-being. You know, when one loses capacity, it's so sad. And, people do not have anywhere where they can get advice for free. And we decided then we have to plug that gap and educate the people. So we are out to raise awareness about the significant importance of advanced care planning, estate planning, and indeed organ donation, which is very crucial.
Okay.
And we, of course, work with different nationalities in the UK. That also gives us also the opportunity to learn about the inheritance rules of those who were from other countries. And it's quite, educative. We are learning a lot. We represent people from different nationalities, and for those who are in the diaspora, their estate planning needs are even more complex than the indigenous communities in that estate planning documents created in one country may not be acceptable in another country. You may write a will in this country, but in Zimbabwe, your will not work automatically. It has to be resealed, which would also involve the master's office and some fees to be paid, including estate duty. So, there's a lot to talk about. Estate planning is a very broad subject, and there's a lot to learn. Those who want to learn can follow us on our social media sites. We're going to be sharing a lot of, educative information. People can get a lot of takeaways out of it and apply it in their own lives. Our desire, our vision is to see families uplifted owing to estate planning through the creation of generational wealth. Thank you very
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Collins Maisidi. This has been the first episode of Unsettled. And audience, this is it, and we shall be giving you more of this as time goes.